If you give me just 2 minutes, I'll shift the way you see women forever. Right now, you're not seeing her clearly. You're watching the surface, the looks, the attitude, the games. But there's something far more powerful just beneath that surface. Something she doesn't even know controls her. Most men think attraction is all about being tall, rich, or charming. They chase her. They try to impress. And then they wonder why she pulls away. But here's the truth. A woman is moved by forces she can't explain. Subconscious triggers, psychological gaps, emotional blind spots. And once you learn how they work, you stop reacting and start leading. That's when everything shifts. Because now, you're not just another man. You're the one she can't stop thinking about. The one who quietly takes control of the entire dynamic, without ever raising his voice. This isn't about tricking her. It's about understanding what actually works. It's about becoming grounded, unshakable. A man she craves without knowing why. Before we go any further, if this is the kind of insight you've been waiting for, hit that like button to let the algorithm know you're one of us. Subscribe to join the movement of men mastering themselves. And drop a comment below. I'm ready to make her crave me. Say it out loud. Own it. Because once you claim it, the rest of this video will hit different. Let's begin. Weakness number 1. The temptation of the unknown. Ever noticed how the quiet guy in the back, the one who doesn't say much, always seems to draw the most attention? That's no accident. Mystery sparks curiosity, and curiosity, it breeds attraction. Women are naturally pulled toward the unknown, toward the man who doesn't lay all his cards on the table, the one who makes her think. Why hasn't he replied yet? Why does he seem close, but distant at the same time? What's his story? She doesn't realize it, but in those moments of wondering, you've already stepped into her mind. And once you're in her thoughts, you're halfway in her heart. Most guys make the same mistake. They think being transparent is the key, so they overshare, reveal too much too fast, trying to build a connection by laying themselves bare. But connection doesn't come from exposure. It comes from mystery. A woman doesn't want a finished book. She wants a page-turner, a slow burn. A man she has to earn, piece by piece. So what do? Hold some things back, not to play games, but to protect your presence. Speak less, mean more. Sometimes show up, sometimes disappear. And remember, when she's chasing answers, she's really chasing you. If this kind of subtle power makes sense to you, tap like to let the algorithm know men like us still exist. Subscribe if you believe mystery is your edge, not your weakness. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing about you that a woman should have to earn to discover? Weakness number 2, the silent pull of power. There's something magnetic about a man who walks in and doesn't ask for permission to exist. He doesn't wait to be invited. He doesn't seek approval. He simply is. And in that quiet confidence, he owns the room. Women notice it instantly, not with their eyes, but with something deeper, a feeling. You've heard it before. I like nice guys. But let's be honest, nice guys ask too many questions. Is this okay? Do you mind if I? And somewhere along the way, they become forgettable. Because deep down, a woman doesn't want to be the one steering the ship. She wants a man who says, "Come with me." And suddenly, the ordinary becomes electric. It's not about controlling her. It's about calming her. Your decisiveness is her relief. When you lead, she can finally rest. Hesitate, and she'll feel it. Overthink, and she'll pull back. Want the upper hand? Don't ask, act. Take the first step. Choose the place. Set the tone. And mean it. She'll follow, not because you forced her, but because she feels safe doing so. Ever noticed how confidence speaks louder than words? Hit, like if you felt the shift when you stopped asking and started leading. Subscribe if you're ready to lead with quiet power. And drop this in the comments. The moment I lead, she follows. Weakness number 3, the forbidden fantasy. Every woman carries a secret side, a quiet hunger she rarely speaks of. It's the part of her that craves the thrill, the unexpected, the rules she wants to break but never does. And this is where most men lose her. They play it safe, too polite, too agreeable, too afraid to create tension. But here's the truth. Women don't fantasize about a man who nods to everything she says. They dream of the man who dares to push back, who teases, challenges, and pulls her out of her comfort zone. That's why the bad boy never disappears. Not because he's cruel, but because he's a challenge. He's unpredictable. He's a story unfolding, page by page. So how do you step into that space? Don't be rude, but don't be obvious either. Surprise her. Disrupt her expectations. Let her guess your next move. Flirt with your silence. Pull away when she expects you to lean in. Lean in when she's sure you'll pull away. Tension keeps the fire burning. A woman falls deeper into the man who makes her wonder. When you stop being easy to figure out, you step into her imagination. And once you're in there, you don't leave easily. Ever noticed how mystery creates obsession? If so, tap like to keep that edge sharp. Subscribe if you're ready to be the man she can't decode. Comment below. I don't just play safe, I play unforgettable. Weakness number 4, the sweet pain of jealousy. Jealousy is like fire. Uncontrolled, it burns. But when handled with care, it creates heat, tension, and desire. Here's what most men don't realize. If she feels like she already has you, she stops fighting for you. Women don't chase men who are always available. They chase men who have options. Men whose attention is earned, not given. Think about it. Why does she suddenly notice you when other women do? Why does her energy shift when she sees you laughing, relaxed, confident, surrounded by feminine eyes? It's not about flirting. It's about presence. You don't need to be a player. You just need to look like a man who's already chosen. Because when she senses that others desire you, she remembers why she did too. Desire breeds desire. So how do you spark this sweet ache? Be magnetic. Live your life outside of her. Talk to people. Move with ease. Be social, yet slightly mysterious. Don't make her the center of your world. Let her orbit you. And above all, never let her think you can't walk away. A woman's deepest fear isn't rejection. It's losing something rare. So be rare, and she'll chase. Ever watched her act colder until another woman smiled at you? Smash like if you've felt that shift. Subscribe if you're done being too available. And comment, I let her feel the fear of losing me. Weakness number 5, the emotional roller coaster. Here's a truth most men ignore. Predictability kills desire. Women don't fall for men who only offer calm. They fall for the ones who make them feel. Not chaos, not drama, but contrast. Laughter followed by silence. Warmth followed by distance. A soft touch, then space. That's the rhythm that keeps her hooked. That's the emotional roller coaster. It's why she rereads texts, why she leans in when you pull away, why she gets addicted to the feeling of not knowing what comes next. You don't need to manipulate her emotions. Just stop being predictable. Most guys try to be the good guy. They're always available, always sweet, always steady. But if she can predict your every move, her curiosity fades. And with it, so does the spark. A woman craves emotional movement, moments that shift her, make her laugh, make her wonder, make her feel alive. And the man who gives her that, she won't want to let go. Ever felt her interest rise when you stopped being so available? Hit like if you've seen the shift. Subscribe if you're done being predictable. Drop this in the comments. I bring the emotion she can't resist. Weakness number 6. The power of validation. No matter how confident she appears, every woman wants to feel chosen, desired, seen, approved by someone she respects. That's the secret. And most men, they ruin it. They give validation too fast, too often, without making her earn it. Flooding her with compliments sounds romantic, but it removes the mystery. Real power lies in restraint. Say less. Praise her when it's deserved, not automatic. Let her wonder what you're thinking. Let silence speak. The less you offer, the more she wants. And when she starts chasing your approval, she's already invested. Don't be rude. Be intentional. Make your attention feel like a reward, not a giveaway. A woman hooked on your validation is a woman thinking about you, even in your absence. Ever noticed how she leaned in more when you held back just a little? Smash, like if you've seen that moment. Subscribe if you're ready to stop giving it all away. Comment. My silence makes her wonder. Weakness number 7. The seduction of a deep voice. There's something about a man who doesn't raise his voice to be heard, yet somehow everyone leans in when he speaks. A slow, steady tone. Low, calm, unrushed. That voice doesn't just talk, it commands. Why? Because a deep, measured voice speaks of power, of control, of a man who doesn't need to convince. He simply is. Most guys rush. They talk fast. Their voices go high when nervous. And just like that, the tension dies. Want her full attention? Slow down. Drop your tone. Naturally. Let silence sit between your words. Let her feel the weight of what's not being said. A man who controls his voice, controls the energy in the room, and when your words hit slowly, deliberately, she'll find herself leaning closer, just to hear more. Ever made her go quiet, just by speaking slower? Hit like, if you felt that shift in the air. Subscribe to master the silent power most men overlook. Comment. I don't speak louder, I speak deeper. Weakness number 8. The intoxicating effect of touch. Touch is language, and when you speak it well, she listens without realizing. Not all touches are equal. It's not about touching more. It's about touching right. A light guide at the small of her back as you lead her through a crowd. A quick brush of fingers when handing her something. A subtle touch on her arm as you share a quiet laugh. These moments don't scream, they whisper. And in that whisper, desire builds. Most men either touch too much or not at all. One feels invasive, the other feels absent. But when you master the balance, your presence becomes addictive. Because it's not about the touch itself, it's about what it implies. Confidence, control, connection. Touch her right, and you won't need to say a word. She'll already feel you. Ever noticed how a subtle touch changed the entire mood? Hit like if you've seen that unspoken spark. Subscribe to learn the quiet moves that speak loudest. Comment. One touch. That's all it takes. Weakness number 9. The hypnotic power of eye contact. They say the eyes are windows to the soul, but when used right, they become a doorway to desire. Most men misuse this power. They look away too soon, afraid, or stare too long, awkward. Both kill the moment. The secret, controlled intensity. Hold her gaze. Just a second longer than she expects, then break it. Not with panic, but with purpose. Look away slowly, like you're leaving a thought unfinished. That subtle tension, it lingers. Now pair that with a small smirk, a quiet confidence, a touch of mystery in your eyes. She starts wondering, what did that look mean? That's how you live rent-free in her mind. Because eye contact isn't just about seeing, it's about making her feel seen. Do it right, and she'll think of you long after you're gone. Ever caught her still looking, even after you looked away? Hit like if you felt that silent tension. Subscribe if you're ready to master presence without a word. Comment, she felt it in a glance. Weakness number 10, the unpredictability of a high-value man. If there's one thing that kills desire fast, it's predictability. When a woman can read you like a manual, she stops wondering. And when she stops wondering, she stops feeling. Women are drawn to mystery, to the man who dances between warm and distant, playful and grounded, available yet elusive. He's not playing games. He simply has a life, a purpose, a presence that doesn't beg to be noticed, but can't be ignored. Think about it. The men women obsess over. They don't text back immediately. They don't say yes to everything. They don't explain themselves in full paragraphs. They act, they leave space. They create questions instead of handing over answers. And that's the secret. A woman's deepest weakness? A man she can't fully figure out. Because when she doesn't know what you're thinking, where your mind drifts, or what you'll say next, she leans in. She rewinds the moments. She feels you long after you're gone. So ask yourself, are you going to stay predictable, or start becoming the kind of man she can't stop thinking about? If this unlocked something inside you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. This is the Stoic Spirit, and I'll see you in the next video.